The party
Guy
was lame to me.
Fieri.
Fieri.
That's the fun.
Yeah.
So they're trying to track him down. Mora's at the party.
I just want to say, you are never allowed to pick the freaking theme for anything again. Okay. Albuquerque, fire truck. We're just yelling out words now? What's going on here? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of BS Drunk Movie Reviews. This is a weekly podcast, and we do upload the video version of this to our YouTube channel, so be sure to check us out there. My name is Matt, and as always, I'm being joined by my sister and co-host, Vetta.
Hi, guys.
Hey, you. And on this episode, we have a special guest, Steve, real name no gimmicks. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. Thanks for having me back. Had so much fun making it awkward last time with Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah. This one's gonna be good.
This is gonna be right up there. So
yeah, right up there. Because this one we are going to be reviewing the movie Legend.
Yeah.
And this is the 1985 Tom Cruise version, because as I was sure this was the one you were talking about, but when I looked up where to watch it, like 4 other movies came up with the same name. So I had to Google Matt or text Matt and say, which one are we doing? And of course, afterwards he's like, damn it, I should have lied to you so we could have watched you freak out.
I should have done it, but what are you gonna do? Okay, before we get into this movie and talk about it, I would like to ask the most important question of the night, and that is, what are you drinking? And Steve, since you're the guest, we'll start with you. What are you drinking tonight?
So I just drank some of my calming, relaxing drink, some all natural herb stuff that I paid $60 for. It doesn't work, but at this point, I'm using osmosis, and I'm also having some tea.
You're hoping the placebo effect kicks in.
Right on.
I can do it, man. I can do it. I can leave myself into it.
Right on. Vetta, what are you having tonight? What are you drinking?
So I have 2 drinks. They're called the same thing. They're both called Unicorn Blood. One is a shot. And one is, and the red one, so one's gray. So it's like, I'm assuming it's from Harry Potter because unicorns have silver blood in Harry Potter, and the other one's red. The red one is supposed to have cotton candy in it and a sugar rim, but you know how I feel about garnishes. I'm not doing it. And I'm not allowed to eat on the podcast anymore. So
yeah, you're not allowed to eat at all. Okay. So all right. Well,
what are you drinking?
I am just having a vodka and Red Bull or cranberry juice. Red Bull, I wish. And then for a backup, I have a White Claw. So
you and those damn White Claw.
No law in this claw.
Listen, listen, 15 of those, and you'll be singing a new tune, okay? You're like, well, hey, it's a party and everything. I'm just saying, you grab
an honorable drink out there for you guys, and I challenge you officially to do this. Instead of drinking anything else, your next podcast, get yourself 2. You only need 2 Voodoo Rangers. Doesn't matter the flavor at 8.0 alcohol content.
No. What was it? Like 2 weeks ago, we were doing an 80s movie. So I found beat boxes, and they're really good. Yeah. And I'd had them before, but they look like they're in an adult juice box container. So I was like, oh, I'm definitely getting it. They are 11.1. Yep. I forgot that because I usually drink them when I go to like music festivals and stuff. Right. And I totally forgot how strong they were, and I had 2. And then my husband wanted to go to the movies after we were done recording. I was fucked.
Yeah, it sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, those will do it. Mantis and I, like, there have been many a night where political discourse has come up on our show, and I'm like 2 beatboxes in. This is back in the day, and like a Ranger. I think Matt has seen my face when Mantis says something, and I'm like,
right. Yeah, right.
Alcohol in me does not agree with the sentiment.
Right on. Right on. All right. So Legend. Let's talk about this movie, because I real quick, how long had it been since you had seen this movie? Steve, how long had it been since you had seen this movie?
So I haven't watched this movie, I can say honestly, since the early 2000s with my older brother. Shout out to Big Cat. He is a graphic artist. So we sat down one day in our apartment in Astoria, New York, and put it on, and we're completely flabbergasted then, as I was now, of how ahead of its time this movie is. And I did not know until today that Ridley Scott was the director and writer of this film. I didn't know that. So
Vetta, how long had it been for you?
Oh, I'm gonna say it's probably been 20, maybe 25 years because
That's a lot.
I was in high school, like a teenager the last time I seen this. I am not anymore. So
Yeah, you're old. But for me, it's been like 5 years. I had seen this somewhat recently and everything. But I had forgotten because I'm not gonna lie, a little bit of this movie is kind of boring. I want to talk about that. Like at one point in time, I was like, "Is this a fucking Enya video? What's happening right now? Like, what's going on?" Okay,
well, I'm glad we're kind of on the
yeah,
same page because I was like, this, why do I remember loving this movie so much? And now I'm
yeah,
just like, wait, am I the only person seeing this?
yeah.
Why does everyone keep leaving the room?
Yeah, like I definitely there are parts in here that I absolutely love, but there were parts where I was just
Yeah.
like, this is taking a long time to get through this fucking dungeon right now. What's going on here? Okay, real quick. All right, so Legend. Following the forest dweller Jack as he attempts to stop the Lord of Darkness from destroying the last unicorns, plunging the world into an eternal ice age and forcing Princess Lily to marry him. Dun dun dun. Okay, let me pull this movie
Okay, I
up
just want
real
to
quick.
say none of this shit would happen if it wasn't for fucking Lily. Fucking women
Absolutely.
always screwing
Women ruin
everything.
everything.
100%.
Always gotta touch everything. It's like the whole time I'm like, don't touch it. Why would you touch it?
Listen, I'm not going to go red pill on you here, but you can blame it on Lily, but I ultimately blame it on Jack because just like any dude who is
Oh.
doing the most trying to impress a woman,
He
it's
wanted
like,
pussy so bad. That's what it came down to. So
Which
I guess
did.
in the whole big thing, it is a man's fault, but she didn't have to touch
It
it.
is not Jack's fault. I'm sorry. She is a grown adult. She could have said, and he kept telling her no. He kept telling her no,
He
which
did,
we're gonna
but
get
he
to. We will
wasn't
get
giving
to.
her any explanation. He just kept saying, "No, Lily,
He
come
was
back."
standing
No.
back. I would have been like, I would have grabbed her hand and be like, "Listen, bitch, get away
He
from the
could have
fucking unicorn."
tackled her ass. He could have stopped
Yeah.
this whole movie and just tackled her and been like, "No."
the
Yeah.
whole thing reminds me of the fact of so many dates or so many relationships I've been on where I'm like, babe, please do not drink another drink. Please do not go behind the bar. Please stay away from the DJ. Oh God, what's happening?
Right.
You're like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna be the one that's gonna end up in jail, not her."
That's
Me.
how it
Because I
starts.
have
That's
been
how
out
it
with
starts.
friends that it's been similar situations, and the boyfriend has been smacked. Like, you know, whether it's a guy or a girl, somehow he's trying to keep the peace and keep his girlfriend tamed.
Yep.
And he ends up being the one smacked and threatened to get hauled off to jail. And the rest of us, because we're all drunks as well, are laughing our ass off because that's what Jack's friends would have done if it
If
was,
you're from the East Coast, the most deadly thing you can hear at a bar is a woman that you arrive with saying, "Do you know who I came here with?"
Right on. Okay, so the movie starts off with this goblin Blix, right?
Mhm.
Now I just want to say right now, I looked it up because it's played by a woman. I didn't know that
Yes.
when I went into this. So
Oh, the makeup and costumes, I'm serious. If you don't like anything else about this movie, there is no way you cannot say that the props, the costumes, the makeup,
yeah, I
the
agree.
scenery, the sets, everything is so beautiful and amazingly done that I would agree with Steve that as far as that goes, this movie was way far ahead of its time in all of that.
Yeah, it makes a strong argument for practical effects, right? Something we're
Yeah,
seeing coming back. It died out obviously with the advent of the MCU and Avatar, where everything is a backdrop, everything's a green screen. But when you see and you know the amount of work people went into the costume and design of this movie, it kills it, man. And you can see direct. This is very quintessentially 80s, and I couldn't find the other movies, but there were a few other peripheral movies that would come on HBO when we were all kids, when this would come on in the afternoon, that directly stole from this movie. And I'm like,
Right
that's
on.
crazy.
Yeah. So we hear Darkness. And real quick, Darkness is played by Tim Curry. Love Tim Curry. He's great.
Oh my
He's
gosh,
great.
how he is also like the
He
late
is great.
80s,
Vetta, can
early
you just let me
90s.
get through the first
No,
5 minutes of
not,
this before you go on
not at
another
all.
tirade? I'm sorry, but we're not even 2 minutes into this goddamn movie.
I got shit to say. And it has
He's like, I am eternal darkness. The thing that kills me is sunlight. And I was like, can we get through this goddamn monologue, darkness? Because I got shit to do. And we see his little window off into the space and everything. And I'm all like, that's nice and everything. And okay, I just want to say the thing that really bugs me about this movie. So we get the shots like this, and it's really pretty, but it lasts like 5 fucking minutes. And you're like, 5 minutes of smoky fire. I'm like, I've had enough of this nonsense. Okay.
You know, this movie was originally 2 hours long in the studio for Ridley Scott to reduce it down to 90 minutes. They were like, you got Scott, you got to get rid of some of this stuff.
I honestly, at one point, it was like, is this based on some kind of epic poem or some shit? Because this is giving me Beowulf vibes. What is going on? And it's not. It is a legit story that was written by a guy with a really too many names. Yeah.
So I love how, okay, right here. So Blix gets really close to Darkness's finger. And I was like, is he going to beep boop on the nose? Because I forgot. I don't remember what's going to happen here. And he's like, yeah, exactly. And I love how he's like, Blix, you are my worst little goblin. Your heart is black. He's like, blacker than night, blacker than pitch. I'm like, we got it. All right, Blix. There's no need to fucking brag. Okay, we got it. Your heart is black. Okay.
Can I do that? Can I just do it, man? I, for some reason, in this scene, no political jargon, but I assume this is what the meetings between Trump and Laura Loomer are like. It's got to be this. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
Only I feel like he would boop her on the nose.
So he has tasked Blix here with killing the last 2 unicorns, because then he can plunge the world into. I love how right here he's like, what creatures am I looking for? And he's like, the ones with the horns on heads. Like, why don't you just say unicorn? Darkness. No, you don't have to make everything. You don't have to give the definition of something. You can just say the word.
Expository.
Yeah. He's like, go kill the unicorns and it'll plunge the world into darkness. He's like, how will I get the unicorns? And he's like, they're attracted to innocence. And I'm like, okay. And then we get this field where Princess Lily she's going through the forest and she's looking for flowers or whatnot. She's just having a hey-o time. And these little goblins, they just come and they're watching her like little creepers. I'm just like, little pig creeper, you don't have to be so weird, okay? Yeah. And I like how she's watching Nell do her laundry and everything, and she pulls on the string, and all her laundry falls on the ground. She's like, you fucking pixie fairies and everything. And I'm just like, no, it was this girl over here that's just fucked up your whole laundry. I was like,
well, she's a princess. She doesn't understand how laundry works.
Yeah. And then she goes in, she just barges into her house because, she's willy-nilly. The dad's sleeping, the baby's sleeping, and she's just stealing their food. She's just taking this food. She's like, oh, I've never had these kind of biscuits before.
It's a shot
of
Meghan
I go
Markle.
back to she's a princess. They are not.
And in this scene, she gets like a little flash of what's to come with the Ice Age thing. So then Nell comes in and she's like, Princess Lily, it's so good to see you. Have a biscuit. And she's like, oh yeah, I've had like 4 and everything. And they're sitting here chit-chatting away. And I don't remember exactly what they talk about, but she's all like, she's like, you have such a great life.
Why are you spending your time visiting us when you have a fabulous life?
Yeah, you're like a princess and everything.
And Lily's like, but I love you guys so much better. The peasants in my house, they're no fun.
Yeah, they're no
working.
Fun. Yeah.
So a little side context. This actress here, this was her first gig, and she's 16 years old as of them shooting this film right now.
Right on.
If you can believe that.
Because she gets Ferris Bueller after this.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. So then she's all like, she's just going through the forest, and she's like, Jack, where you at, Jack? Come here, buddy, and everything. And Jack, he just plops down and everything. And my favorite part about this is just like, oh gosh, sorry, hold on, give me 2. So he plops down, right? But I love how he does a little fucking somersault thing, and I'm all like, did Tom Cruise do that for real, yo? Or
he did all the stunts. He did all the stunts and all the ice work, all of it. He's a psychopath, man.
Right on. So I have to just say right now, Jack is looking very caveman here. I'm all like, I don't like your look, Jack. I don't like it at all. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So then he starts talking. I don't remember what he starts talking, but I was like, I literally was like, once he started talking, she gives him a cookie and she's like, I made it for you. And she brought him flowers too. I'm like, dudes don't like flowers, but whatever. And she's like, I made you a treat. Is it sweet? And he's all like, and he's like, but I know something sweeter. And I'm like, are you kidding me with this bullshit? What's happening? This is some bullshit right here. But I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I get it. It's fine. It's fine.
I just want you to wrap your head around this for a quick second. Do you know who else was rumored to be up for this role?
Jude Law,
Johnny Depp, and friggin' Jim Carrey. So I just want you to think about what this movie could have been like if it were Jim Carrey or Johnny Depp.
Is it Sweet Jack? Is it Sweet Jack? Oh, it sure is. It's so sweet. Okay. So he's eating these little heart cookies and everything, and they're just chilling in the forest with foxes and stuff, and they're just having a hair time, right? They're just having their little picnic. He's like, hey, you want to see something? She's like, yes. And he's like, it's my dick. And
pretty much.
Yeah. So he takes her off and everything, and he blindfolds her and takes her into the forest. And he shows them the flowers or whatever, but then they see the unicorns. And hold on, I'm trying to get them up in here. And they come frolicking and everything, and they're really pretty and everything. Now, I was all like, so this is the part that we were talking about before when she gets mesmerized, right? She's all like, I love them, they're so great. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Everybody loves unicorns and everything. And so she tries it, and the whole time while she's getting close to, he's all like up in the bushes, being like, Lily, get the fuck back here. Get the fuck back here.
He's like the lookout man, and he's like, they're coming. Come on, get back here.
Yeah, and he's like, and like we said before, I don't understand why he just stood there and didn't fucking move. And you want to know why? I think because unicorns are not these innocent creatures that bring magic and light to the world. I think they're fucking assholes. That's what I think. He's all like, Lily, you're gonna get the fucking stab, dude, if you go near that unicorn. They are mean. Vicious,
high fantasy creatures.
They actually eat people. That's their favorite food.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't think unicorns are nice at all.
That's why they're attracted to innocence, because they don't know no better.
Yeah. And when
Maxwell comes riding in on one like, hello.
So then this unicorn, it's like, hey, is that a girl? Let's go stab her. And everything. And so he starts running towards her, right? And these goblins are just like, just like, oh, shit's going down, you guys. It's going down for real. And so she huddles down because she's like, I don't want to fucking get killed. And the horse finally just stands there, and she's allowed to pet it. But as she starts singing at it, and I'm all like, okay, it's fantasy American Idol, whatever.
She thinks she's all of a sudden fucking Sleeping Beauty and shit.
Yeah. So while she does that, Blix shoots the unicorn with the dart, and the dart, the horse freaks the fuck out. It's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That fucking hurt. And she's like, this lily white bitch got me shot, and everything.
Princesses.
Yeah, so I love after this happened, Jack's all like, Lily, what the fuck are you doing, dude? I said stop. You didn't listen to me. And so the horses, then
other little fairy creatures come out. They're pissed at Jack.
Oh my god, they are fucking pissed at Jack. Okay. So she to calm Jack down, right? She takes off her ring, right? And she's all like, the man that gets this ring is the one that I'll marry. And then she tosses it in like a lake or whatever. And I'm all like, oh, that's some hardcore shit right there. Because and let me just ask you right here. This is like a fucking lagoon, because this thing is deeper than a motherfucker. It's like he swims so far down to get this ring that I'm all like, where is this lake at? This little pond or whatever that she threw it in. Don't you think that was some bullshit? Her being like, whoever gets this ring can marry me, and then just tosses it in a fucking lake or whatever. Don't you think that was some bullshit? I think so. It
wasn't that nice of a ring either. I'd have been like, I want a nicer ring than this. She's a princess, for fuck's sakes. Why does this movie not keep reminding us of that?
I agree, but I feel like Jack. I feel like you could have gave him like some twine, and he'd been like, "This is a pretty ring. It's a pretty ring. I like
Well,
it."
I
See,
mean,
what I've done is giving you guys the ability to take this portion, clip it, and throw it into a red pill forum. And
Right.
they're like, look at this simp. Look at him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like, he didn't even hesitate to jump. Like, not only did she just disturb the natural order, you just
Right.
freaked out on her about it. She's like, oh, whatever. Go get the ring.
Yeah, that is true. So while he's under the water, right, the ice age happens because the male unicorn has like died, which I'm all like, yeah. And so he hits his head on this ice, and I'm all like, oh, you're screwed. And the goblins, Blix chops the unicorn's horn off, and they take it off with him, and they run off, right? So then Lily, she's all like, she's freaking out. So she runs over to Nell, which was the woman that she broke into her house before. And they're all frozen. And I have a question.
She
Is
got the
that
whole
what
fucking family killed.
yeah, is that what happens when a unicorn dies? Everybody just freezes in place? Like what's
Well,
what
and my
I was
whole
like,
thing is weren't they supposed to be plunged into darkness if both unicorns were killed? Blix
That's a
did not
great
do his
point.
job. He half-assed it. He only got one horn, and he's supposed to plunge the earth into complete darkness. He is not
Right.
good at his job.
He's
He
not
is
good
not.
at his job.
Yeah, but
He must not. He must belong to a union.
basically South Jersey during the winter because it went bad quick. Like,
Yeah, right. It was so bad.
you're gonna be a crackhead with a barrel of fire, like
Right.
And I love how right after Lily gets to this cabin, the goblins show up at this cabin. They're like, "Hee!" and they go in. And I my question is, why did they go into this cabin? Like, what was the point of it? Because they just walk in, they talk about how they're like, oh, we don't want fresh vegetables. Give me rotten meat, something so sweet, nothing so sweet and everything. And I'm all like, okay, great. Why are you in these people's house? Like, there's no point to this. Like, at
They
all.
don't need it anymore. Finders keepers at this point.
Yeah, and so they and then they leave and everything, which I'm like, okay, great. And then Lily cries because she's like, oh, I got my friends killed. And so then while they're there, Jack gets woken up.
That's not how frozen ice works either. You don't
Right.
punch your fist through. I live in Minnesota. That is not how that works.
Right
at
on.
all.
So Jack, he gets woken up by a fairy, right? And then all these other little elven creatures, which, by the way, this character right here, Gump, love him. I love him because he gets there and he is fucking with Jack at the
So
beginning.
hard.
He's like, hey Jack, what'd you do today? And he's all like, I hung out with my princess friend. He's like, Jack, what else did you do?
Come
huh?
on, tell me the truth.
He's
Wink,
like,
wink.
I let
apocalypse.
yeah. He's like, well, I took her to see the unicorn. He's like, you did what? And he's like, what else
He's like,
happened?
shit,
He's
I
like,
didn't think it was that bad.
yeah, and he's like, what else did he do? He's like, well, she kind of touched the unicorn. She's like, he did what? You motherfucker! You know the rules. You're breaking the fucking rules, Jack.
And he's like, but she was gonna show me her pussy.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, listen, dude, you don't understand. He's like, you guys are fairies. So then the other fairies show up, right? They're all just they just show up, and I love how they're all sitting in the background just clapping. They're like, yay, kill him, and everything. And so then he's like, I won't kill you if you answer my riddle. And I'm all like, oh, fucking riddles. I would die, by the way. I'm the worst at riddles. Riddles are so fucking hard.
Matt would just be like, give me the knife now. I'll
just do it
We're
now.
done.
Just like, yeah, hit me over the head with your little cello or whatever, because I'm done for. I'm donezo's. So he's like, I ring without sound and I'm whatever. But the answer was bluebell flowers or something like that. And he
that shit escalated quick though.
Yeah.
He turned around, the entire gang's behind him. This little madman pulls out a knife from nowhere.
Right?
He's got a lot in that little skirt he's wearing there.
Yeah, and he like destroys his little violin and everything because he's like, ah, shit, he answered my riddle. And all the other, there's bubbles everywhere. I'm all like, is that what happens when fairies show up? Elven folk, they just bring bubbles with them.
I don't know though. Are they all elven folk? Because some of them are quite ugly. I feel like they're like of the leprechaun
like
troll family.
Yeah, right on. They're all like fairy folk, you know how it is and everything. So then he's like, "We need to have a drink," and I'm like, "Yes, you do, bully," and everything. But he pulls out these little thimbles. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" and everything. And then this guy, he's all like, "It's my last vintage," and I was like, "And it's the smallest bottle ever with the smallest shot glasses I've ever seen." And then
Maybe
I don't
it's
remember.
like 40%. You don't know.
It better be because he's like Brandy Ridge, wine. It's the best and everything. And I'm all like, "Is it though?" And so they're all like, "All right, well, we need to find these unicorns and shit to like fix them." And he's like, "I need to find Lily and all this stuff." So they go through.
And the fairies are like, "This bitch, didn't she start this shit?"
Yeah. So then they finally come across the unicorns and the stallion. He's all laying and everything, and the female's all like, she's like, "Hey, little human." She's all like, my man's dead." What'd you say?
He's like, "See what you did. You see what you did."
Yeah. So then they decide they're like, "All right, we need to fix this. We need to fix this. But first, we get over to the goblins and Blix here. Blix
Power
is just
hungry.
Power hungry, and I love how he's like, fire, make it higher or whatever, and I'm all like, "Oh, god damn it, a goblin that rhymes! You gotta be fucking kidding me."
And doesn't one of the other goblins are like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "He just told you."
yeah. And I love how he's all like, you've got all this power and you're just gonna make the fire bigger. And I'm all like, I don't know, that's a pretty big fucking deal. I'm like, if you did that in front of me, I'd be like, that's pretty fucking cool. You made that fire bigger. Look at that. Goblin's so hard to impress. And then so then they're like, "Listen, Jack, we need a champion. Okay, and you're gonna be our champion, buddy. I know where to get weapons." And I'm all like, "Oh, these fairy folk,
Dude, and there is nothing about this version of Tom Cruise that is a champion of anything. This is the scrawniest looking kid I've seen in a long time.
I concur. So they take him to this vault, and he gets this armor and a sword and a shield, which I'm like, it's actually pretty cool and everything.
The shield like doubles as a little saucer later. He slides down a cave in it. So hey.
Yeah, it's great. So while they're doing this fairy chick, she pops up, and she's a part of the little, and Una, she's a part of the whole group, right? And
Una reminds me from the chick from the Never Ending Story on crack. Like this is like
Just really quickly, you know what I remember most about this movie as a kid? I knew I was attracted to toxic women in a dangerous way because when Una popped up on the screen, I was like, "Oh, what's her story?" Out of rehab.
You were like, "She's got a little something going on."
I can fix her. But I'll tell you right now, the whole time watching this, I was like, Una is one horny motherfucker because she's all like,
and she is a manipulative.
She is. She's the worst. Because she's like, "Hey, Jack, I wanna tell you a secret, but you can't tell anybody." And she's like, "Boom, I can make myself bigger," and everything. And so then she's all like, she's like, "Here's the armor, Jack," and everything. So he gets the armor. So while they're sitting here, this is where they're like arguing or whatnot. And she's all like, hold on. Sorry, I messed it up. So while they're sitting there, Blix is all like, "I'm gonna keep this unicorn horn, and I'm gonna be, the master." And Darkness shows up behind her, and he's like, hey, Big D is behind you. And she's like, "Ah, fuck me." And he's like, "Hey, Big D," and she throws the unicorn horn. And while she does it, she's like, "Oh, I was just about to come." And then this other little is all like, "I'm the master now. I am the captain now." And Darkness brings this mummy to life, which I'm all like, where did this fucking where are we right now? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I had so many questions while watching this because I was like, where have we gone to? What kingdom is this?
Well, again, you got to remember, this was supposed to be over 2 hours long. It's like supposed to be close to 2.5 hours. So they had to, they might have answered your questions in the full version. And now they're like, they don't need to know where this mummy came from.
I'm not gonna lie, a small piece of me now wants to watch the 2-hour version so I can figure out, because sometimes I like, and then so this thing right here, it drops down into this little cavern, which I'm all like, and we see him later, and I'm like, all roads lead to darkness, I guess. That's what that little thing was. And so they give him the horn, and he's all like, he's like, you little idiots, you didn't kill both unicorns because look, the sun is coming up. He's like, you got to kill the other one. So then I can rule over.
And they're like, but it's going to die anyways. And he's like, no, it's a female. And I'm like, wait, is there immaculate conception in unicorns? Like, can she just mate with herself? Because
I don't know.
She can create life. And I'm like, can she? Or is she already pregnant and we don't know?
Yeah, she could have been. She could have been. Again, more questions. So while they're sitting here, this little right here, his name is what was his name? Was he Pox? Is it this one named Pox?
Yeah.
Okay, so Pox, he has been given the task of staying with the female and unicorn and the dead body of the male unicorn to protect them from anybody. Mm-hmm. So he's sitting there and he's like, I don't worry, girl, I got you covered. But then Lily comes a run and she's like, you must help me. And the goblins show up, right? They're right behind her, which I'm all like, what, did they know she was watching the whole time and everything? And they're walking through like a 4 foot of snow because they're just like, they're up to the necks in snow or whatever. And I love this part because, and this part, she's like, it's all my fault. And I'm like, it is all your fault. Yes.
Bro, and she's down bad. Like she went from immaculate to bad within 20 minutes of
Like she broke a nail and everything fell apart. Like her world came to a complete stop. Like she cannot survive. There's a reason she was born a princess.
Yeah, for sure. So while she's sitting here bitching and moaning, the goblins show up and they start shooting arrows at him, right? And he's blocking with this frying pan, which I'm all like, this part. This part made me laugh. Yeah, I loved this part so much because he's at one point he's just having a good old time. He's like ha 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 and everything.
He's like, thought you got me.
He's like, you dopey bitch, you don't even know how to shoot right and everything. And so,
well, then he starts batting him back like he's playing tennis.
Yeah, exactly. Through the legs and everything.
Like underneath, I have no genital word.
Yeah. So finally he does get shot, but he doesn't get killed. It just goes through his hat. And he's all like, I'm down for the count. I'm like, are you though?
And we find out later it broke his skull shield or something because they take his hat off and it's like his brains exposed.
It's the wine bottle. It's the wine bottle that they drank from earlier. And so I'm all like, that knocked you out, pussy. Anyway, so they capture Lily and the female unicorn. So then these guys show up to help him. And he's like, I'm not dead. He's
dying.
like, I'm dying or whatever.
And they're like, no, you're not, you idiot.
Yeah, you idiot. So then they go to, and I can't remember was this the tree of life or whatever? And I was like, that's the tree of life? Okay, I guess, and everything. So, but it's Darkness's little lair, right? So, but before they get into the lair, they got to pass through this like bog or whatever, right? And what's his face? Is this one, what's this one's name? His name is Screwball, right? Yeah. So Screwball, he makes it across, but he gets thrown into the water. But as he does that, right? Out pops one of my favorite creatures in this entire fucking Meg Muckbottom. Is that right? That's her name?
Yes.
And before Mucklebones. Before we get into this, did you guys know that this is a man playing Meg Mucklebones?
No.
Yeah, it's the doctor from Voyager, Star Trek Voyager, Robert Picardo.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that until we rewatched this just now, and I was like, "Oh, look at him! He's a man of many talents." Because this is probably one of my favorite creatures. Now, Meg is very ugly and everything, and she's all like,
she looks like a bloated body from a true crime documentary.
Yes, she does. But I love how she's all like, he's like, how could I it was such a beautiful creature. And she's like, you really think I'm beautiful? And I was like, Jack, you are a charmer. Let me just tell you that right now, Jack. You are a fucking charmer.
Hey, she doesn't get many visitors. The girl's gonna take a compliment where she can get one.
Yeah. So he's like, just feast upon your beauty. And she's like, and I love how she's looking in the shield mirror, and she's like, I do look pretty good, huh? All right, and everything. And then
she's like, this hump is nice today. It looks
very mobile today.
And I love how she goes, give me a kiss before I kill you. And I'm all like, all right, Meg, you just lost him. Because then he slices her head off. And the thing about it is, when he slices her head off, right, she starts grabbing at her head and starts looking. And I'm all like, well, Meg, that's not how that works. You guys, okay? But it's fine because I loved it. And so then they go into they're inside the Tree of Life castle and everything. And they've got the unicorn and it's all chained up and everything. And Lily is all like, she's scared and all that stuff. And they get in through the bottom of the castle, right? And they're all this stuff. They fall in through a hole into the dungeons. And
which is not the place you want to enter a castle. I'm just saying. I mean, they literally land next to a dead, decayed body.
Yeah. And then they run into this guy, which his name is Blunder. And we find out that he is actually one of the fairy folk also. He was just pretending to be a goblin, correct?
Yes.
Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know what's crazy about that? If you go back to that shot of Blunder, the way he got into their gang is he clearly killed another bad creature, because those aren't gloves he's wearing. That's someone's paw. He's going to have his hand in. And
there we go.
He literally eviscerated another.
It's like webbed fingers, and he's so he's literally made a meat suit out of this goblin.
A meat suit.
Building it up in a fantasy universe.
You got to get into fitting. You know what I'm saying?
This was way before Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lamb. I mean,
that's so funny. One cut scene is him just chopping up a goblin. He's just all like,
he was like, Ridley, that scene was 26 minutes and 36 seconds.
Right. He's like, but it was pivotal. You now know. People are gonna have questions.
So then he's all like, listen, he's like, you guys, we gotta be quiet, because if we don't, the cook or whatever, the guard, he's gonna the demon guard, he's gonna come and take us away, and they're gonna make pie out of us. Well, then comes in the demon guard, and he's like, hide and everything, and I was all like, God damn it, Grooky, whatever your name is, and so all they do is they just throw hay over themselves, and I was like, I can see you guys are bad at hiding. I just want to say that.
And then one of these little bastards gets grabbed up. It's so horrible.
Yeah, so he grabs Blunder. And he takes Blunder away, and Blunder's all like, "Help me!" And I'd be like, "Fuck you, Blunder! You done fucked up. You
should have got better hay."
Yeah, exactly. You. It's not my fault. You don't know how to play hide and seek. So while they do that, though, I think it's Screwball or Pox, whichever one sneezes and everything. But the little guard doesn't come back and everything. So while they're sitting there talking and everything and hiding and everything, Gump is talking to Una. And Jack gets this bright idea. He's like, Una, he's like, you got to get us the keys. And what's his face? Gump is all like, he can't. She's too small. And he's like, Una, you can do it and everything. She's like, Jack, you motherfucker, you said you wouldn't say nothing and everything.
Our secret.
Yeah. And I like how he's like, and then the Gump guy's all like, you kept a secret from me. She's like, it was mine to keep, bitch. I don't have to tell you everything. I'm not your fucking woman. And then I love how Jack's all like, hey, listen, it's either keep your secret or get put into a fucking pie. I'd prefer to live on everything, you stupid bitch. But then she disappears, right? And she goes and she gets the key. Oh no, okay, before she goes, she's like, okay.
Oh no, she wants a smooch. She's
you
like,
you want the key. I want a kiss.
I'm pretty sure Uni would have roofied Jack if she had a
roofie.
Yeah.
It's happened already before. Like Jack running around the woods for quite some time. I'm sure Uni's done some things, man.
Yeah, she has. So she pretends to be Princess Lily. She like glamours him and stuff. But you know what gets me about this is Jack, okay, I get that he loves Lily. But I feel like Lily would understand if Jack kissed Una to save herself. Like he's like, listen, I'm sorry I kissed this bitch. I do love you, but you don't understand. We were going to die. All right. I prefer to save you and the world as the champion of the fairies. But so I think you can understand Princess Lily. I feel like she would have understood.
Yeah. Also, there's the fact that, hey, babe, you kind of caused all of this. So I had to do everything.
And I go, who's going to tell her?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
Which one of you little bastards is going to open your mouth?
Right.
And if Uni tells him, he's like, dude, she just wants the dick. I didn't do anything. You're going to listen to this crazy fairy bitch? Come on.
Exactly. But she does bring back the keys, right? And she opens up the cage, right? But she shuts the door on Jack. She's like, oh, Jack, you want to fuck me over, buddy? You want to fuck me over and everything? But she does end up letting him out. And so they're in the kitchen where they're just chopping up dudes and cooking them. Yeah. And I'm all like, that's fun, whatever.
Shepherd's pie, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, shepherd's pie. And we get a lot of shots of just the interior of this, but I'm like, what is that right there? What is that? What is that? The engine room? What's happening here? I have so many questions.
The oven,
so they're
maybe?
like,
I don't know.
Yeah, so I love how the two littles are all like, let's split up. I'm going with Jack and everything. Like, I'm going with the guy with his sword. And I'm all like, I would have went with Gump. Gump seems like he can handle himself. He's got a bow and arrow and like, an endless pocket of weapons and shit. So he can handle himself. But Gump and Jack go off and everything. So while they're doing this, the darkness is popping up out of nowhere and revealing himself. Oh, no. Sorry. He's all talking to his dad. Yeah. Which I'm all like, if darkness is the representation of Satan or whatever, who's his daddy? Like, I'm all like, who's his daddy? What's going on here? I'm so confused, but I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it. Let's see what happens. Now, this part right here is when I was all like, what's happening here? Because Lily is just running through this whole goddamn dungeon. Like, it's so crazy. And he's like, I am fascinated with her father. I was like, she entices me. And I'm all like, what? Like this part right here, when she's running through here, it's so slow motion. And you're just like, sail away, like what's happening right now?
And she was with the unicorn. Did they just tie up the unicorn and just let her wander the castle, whatever this place is?
That's a great point. Like, I feel like we should get like Swan Lake music at this point in time. And I'm like, what's happening right here? Like, what's going on? What is happening? Explain.
An unpopular comparison. I'm sure you two are going to want to crucify me. This scene gives me Bram Stoker's Dracula, Francis Ford Coppola vibes. You ever notice in that movie too, there are a lot of shots where you're just like, why the hell are we running? Why have they been running for 5 minutes?
Yes. I personally go, I think in that movie, and now that you say that, I can see the comparison of, I just think they wanted to show off the extra work they did on the set. I think the set makers were like, no, we put some real work into this. It needs to be seen.
I mean, I agree with both of you on both your points. I mean, that's probably what happened. But I literally was watching that scene specifically, and I was like, I just literally I looked at Trisha and I was like, what are we doing right now in this movie? I'm so confused. Like, why are we're just running through this castle that is, a dungeon. I'm like, what? Okay, we're moving on. Okay. So then Lily, she
clearly
finds
a trigger
fire.
point for Matt.
Oh, I was just like, this is just so much wasted time.
Like, this bastard Steve did it again.
That last movie, I was like, okay, I feel what's going on. This one, I was just like, I don't know what's happening. So Lily, she's in this banquet room. And finally, she's like looking at the food and everything, and Darkness, he's all like, well, hello there. And he's all like, and so finally he sorry. She puts on the necklace and she starts dancing, but she's dancing with this like, it's not a person, it's like a manifestation of what she could be.
Yeah.
Because it's just got a sock face. And so she starts dancing with it, and she's frolicking about and everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I actually did enjoy this part. I was like, this is actually nice. She's dancing, the costume with this and everything. But then she turns into the thing she's dancing with. She's the one wearing the outfit.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, she looks pretty good also here. Like she looks nice.
Yeah, this was the J-Lo outfit before the J-Lo
Before the
outfit.
jail, yeah.
Yeah.
But while she's looking in the mirror, Darkness shows up, right? And he's got the hooves and he's got the horns. And I'm not gonna lie, hold on, let me just go. He looks fantastic. I love everything about this character. He looks great. Again, the practical effects, like you guys had mentioned, are fantastic. We should go back to these because look how great he looks there.
Yeah.
So crazy
And he's
thing,
fucking Pinocchio.
Tim Curry had a panic attack. So it took him quite a bit of time to get in and out of this costume.
Yeah.
And they had to rinse some of the salve or whatever off him. But one day he just had a straight up panic attack on set and needed to get out of it and started ripping at it, and to the point where he was ripping at his own skin to get out of this thing.
I would love to see that film. I'm not gonna lie.
Matt's like, where's the BTS for that?
I'm just saying, if they have a recording of that, I say I would buy it. I'd buy it. I'd rent it for sure off iTunes. Okay. So he shows up, and the thing I love about this scene is when so this part is the part where I really, really liked this movie. When Darkness shows up and when she opens her eyes, she doesn't scream. It's like a silent, she's like, and like she can't scream. And I was like, that's fantastic right there. That's really great. I love that. And so he goes on his Shakespearean monologue again, which I was like, Darkness, we need to talk, buddy. Okay, you got to stop talking like this. How did you guys feel about Darkness and the way he talked?
I got to be honest with you, man. This stuff, I was never a goth kid, but this was absolutely amazing. This is simply a part where he just says in here, "Sweet mother night," and I'm like, no need to say it. He said it. It sounded amazing. He was born to play this role. I assume this is what rich people do when we're not around. Like, when we
I hope it is now.
But I thought he made it. So I can only imagine one other person voicing this character, and it would have made it super cheese. Like someone like James Earl Jones obviously could have carried it with that baritone voice, but Tim Curry just brings a creepiness to it.
Tim Curry, with all the roles that he does where he's the villain, he takes it to a whole different level. Like, I do think in all of his roles where he is the villain and he just kills it, I can't imagine other people doing it at the same level as him.
You guys are saying that. You know what I would love to see do this? I would love to see Nicolas Cage do this part. He's like, welcome, Mother Darkness, to my castle. Check out all these bones that are with the corpses of fallen soldiers. It's gonna be so good. Okay. Okay. All right, we're moving on. So in this entire part right here, he is trying to seduce her to become his like bride or whatever. And she's like, no. And he's like, yeah, it's gonna happen, bitch. And so while they're doing this, okay, so then these guys, they sneak up on the doors and there's like a little crack or whatever. And while they're doing this, so I just want to talk about Gump for just 1 second real quick. Gump is so ready to kill this bitch. Like every time she speaks.
Kill her from the beginning.
That's true.
He hated her.
Yeah,
he's never liked her.
But this part, so she's talking to her and he's like, Jack, she's already turned and everything. I'm like, you need to calm the fuck down, Gump. Like, you're that friend, okay? And he's like, she's not one of us anymore and everything. And so she's like, this is where she's like, no, and he's like, yes, and everything. And I'm like, Darkness, you are like a little horny right now. You need to calm down.
I know, she just keeps saying no, and he's like that. You can say it, not gonna change it.
Yeah,
it's happening.
She's like, never, and everything. And he's always like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And one thing that I love was that he kept trying to get her to sit, right? He's like, hey, these two guys are going through and everything. And I loved this when he tries to gnaw on what's his face's kneecap, and I'm all like, that's fine.
For no reason.
Right. So they've come up with a plan, right? So their plan is that they're going to gather up all these giant plates, and they're going to make a little what was it called that the Egyptians did? Where they bring light from with mirrors down to the dark tunnels or whatever.
Yep.
But before they do that, they need a little bit of help. So they go to the kitchen, right? And they hear Grundle, right? What is his name? Blunder, and they hear him, and he's in a pie. And I was like, "See, Blunder, I knew you're gonna end up in a pie, buddy. You should have hid better in your straw." So they cut him out and everything, and I love this part right here because he's like, "Okay, we're gonna let you out, but you can't say anything. All right, you promise to be quiet." And he's like, mm-hmm. He's like, "You swear?" And he's like, mm-hmm. And then he's like, "What took you guys so long?" And I'm like, "You guys are talking very loud right now."
They are not good at any time when somebody says, "Don't say anything, don't touch it, don't do anything." They are terrible in this whole movie.
Terrible.
Everybody,
A
nobody.
little bit of fan casting. Blunder could have been played by Joe Pesci because that scene you just described right now. Can you imagine they pull the apple out of a Joe Pesci rendition?
That would have been great. That would have been great.
Going on in here? Everyone.
That would have been. I would. We need a remake. Yep. I'm just saying. So they get Blunder out, right? And Darkness is still, he's still trying to seduce Lily. But while they're doing this is where they're going, and they go into the kitchens and they get these giant plates. And I did like this little frisbee game they had. I was like, this is very fun. I like this. That's the thing I like about this movie. Like, it's all serious at 1 minute, and then the next time you're all like, well, this is fun and playful. This is nice. This is nice and everything. But it's not. It's still a little boring though. But okay. Anyway, so little Pox gets hit with one of the plates and everything, and they wake up the demon cook and everything. So the demon got it. They just start fighting with them and everything, to the point where they knock one of them, the big one, into the fire, and then the other one, I don't remember what they do to him, but they both get taken out, right?
This goes to the fact that these woodland creatures are murderers. Do you see how quickly they rat pack this?
But that goes back to what Matt said about everyone thinks unicorns are magical, stoic creatures. We feel the same way about fairies and woodland creatures.
I agree.
No, they are vicious. They've survived so long because they play dirty.
Yeah, they're evil. I agree. That's so funny because
they put out there that they're good. That's like their gossip that they've spread about themselves, but they are not.
No, they are not. They've sent up what's his face, the Screwball. They've sent him up to the surface to get the sunlight, and here this little. And because I love how he volunteered, and then he's like, "Oh wait, you want me to climb all the way top?" And they're like, "Yeah, no."
He's like, "Oh man, my back's hurting today."
Yeah. He's like, fuck me, I spoke too soon. Oh no, it was no, it's not Screwball they send. It's Pox they send. Is Pox the same guy that played the little in the He-Man movie, the 80s He-Man movie?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it's the same character. Crossover. Okay, anyway, So then he goes up and everything. So then they're getting their plan in motion. So while she's sitting here, she's looking at this giant glass of wine, and he's like, "Drink." And I was like, "Yeah, drink it. I would. I drink the whole thing. I drink the whole thing, sweetie." I was like, "You need some liquid courage."
Down, damn it. We've already
Drink it. That's good stuff. He brought out the good stuff. He's trying to get you to be his wife. He got the good stuff. Drink it. Drink it.
So she's all like, "No, thank you." And he's like, "Sit." And she's all like, "I think I'll stand." Now he gets so fucking pissed when every time she says, "No, I'm going to stand." He gets so mad. And she's like, "What do you want me to sit for?" And he's like, "I want to talk and everything. I want to listen to you." And I was like, he's lying. Nobody wants to listen to a woman talk.
Especially when she's wearing a dress like that.
Exactly. So she's all like, "What do you want with me?" And he's like, "Listen, bitch, we both know what I want from you." He's like, "I want to rule the world in darkness, and I want you to be by my side and everything."
Give me darkness children.
Yeah, give me darkness children and everything. And Pox is climbing to the top or whatever. And they're setting up the plates and everything. And finally she's like, "I would sit here." And he's like, yeah. So while he's telling her this like weird bubbly stuff comes on through the chair.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what was going on with that chair. I was like, what's happening with this chair? Like, if she sits down, what does that even mean? If there's a meaning behind what's going on here, it's lost on me. I was like, I'm so confused what's happening, but visually it was pleasing. So she's like, She's like, I think I'll stand. He's like, God damn it, and everything. And he's throwing shit around and everything, and everything. The unicorn's getting upset and everything, and she's all like, because he's like, I can't kill this bitch. I can't do anything and everything. So finally she's like, hey, listen, I'll tell you what. I was like, I'll be your bitch, but I get under one condition and everything. She's like, I get to kill the unicorn.
Oh, and he is so happy about this. It's like he came in his pants.
That was just gonna say he came for sure. He's so happy. Like he's like ha 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 ha. So the sun's up and everything, and so they're and I love how they're like, we'll be back in 3 shakes of a rabbit's tail. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, God damn. And then he's got his little bubble clock, and I'm all like, who could tell time of that? What is that? And everything. Again, didn't explain anything. Okay.
I know that little bastard is the same guy from the original Children of the Corn. Is that same creepy guy have you guys watched that movie before, Children of the Corn?
I've not in years. Hold on, I'm trying to get it.
I should have picked that one instead, because I think it's the same actor, and he plays like, if it is him, he plays like a little weird Amish demon guy that convinces all these kids to kill all the old people, like all the adults in town.
Well, he's not. I don't think he's the redhead, the main character, because that guy is.
No, the redhead isn't the redhead in that movie the enforcer.
He's the enforcer, yeah. The little,
yeah.
His name is Judah or something.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah,
I don't know, but he does look like that kid. So we'll just say he's that kid. We'll just say that. So he's evil there and he's evil here. So finally, they're getting preparations ready to kill this unicorn and plunge the world into darkness. And then the good guys are setting up their whole thing, right? And so this is where Gump, he's all like, listen, dude,
I'm gonna kill this bitch.
Yeah, this bitch has turned and everything.
Oh yeah. He's like, she's not gonna do it. She's not gonna do it.
And they've got their arrows ready. He's like, and he's just yelling, he's like, kill her, Jack, and everything. And he's like, and I love how he's like, I trust you, Lily. And I was like, bitch, she can't hear you. She can't hear you right now. You gotta yell that shit. So she doesn't kill the unicorn. She cuts the chains and she's like, run and everything. And he shoots darkness with an arrow. And then I love how he's just like, I love how he's like darkness and everything. And then he slides down or he swings down like Tarzan and shit. And I love how he's got an arrow in his neck right now. And he's just like, whatever about it. And he knocks Jack over and everything. And I love this when he just runs at him like a fucking bull, in a china shop. And he like rams his horns and he's just like face to face. He's like, hello, bitch, I'm about to kill you. And so they're fighting and everything. And he's getting some good hits, but not enough to kill him or whatnot. And the rest of the crew, they come in to try to help or whatnot. And finally, they break open the sunlight. And they hit the devil with it, and then he's like in his little space mirror or window, and he's like I am eternal. You can't live. There cannot be no sunlight without me and everything. He's like I will be here forever and all this stuff. And Jack's all like, yeah, but we can get rid of you for now. And then they knock him into the universe. And then he splits off into a couple stars. I don't know. I was confused about that too. I'm like, what? I was like, what's happening here? Like, I don't know.
This is clearly the studio telling Ridley, wrap this shit up.
So Lily, he's like, please don't be dead, Lily, and everything. And they're all like, the unicorn heron can heal anything, right? And so they get Lily and they bring her back to the forest, and he gets the ring from the ocean. And which I'm all like, I'm surprised he found that shit. That shit was crazy. Yeah. And which, how many times did he bust out of this water? Was it 3 times? Because I could have swore it was 3 times. And I was like, you could at least gotten a different angle. You just zoomed in each time. And he puts the ring on Lily, and he's all like, hey, I got your ring, wakey, wakey, and everything.
And he's all like, oh, you're knocked out. I'm going to do what everyone should do to a woman who's sleeping. I'm going to make out with you.
Yes. And
being encouraged by the elves. They're like, hey, man, you know what? brings dead chicks back to life.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to tell everybody. You're sleeping. I got a unicorn horn for you. So she wakes up. She's like, "Oh, Jack, you silly goose. What did you do? Bitch, what did you do?" And everything. And so they're just like laughing, like everything's just a walk in the woods, just like
like it was just a normal Saturday afternoon, you know.
And so there's that ring that you were talking shit about. Vetta. Hold on, let's go.
Yeah, it's a shitty ring. It's a mood ring. Okay, look at that.
I will have to admit, it could be like at least a carat, but whatever. It's fine. I don't know what those red stones are, but those aren't rubies. I'll tell you that. Anyways, so they spent all the money on Darkness's
makeup.
Which was worth it.
Totally.
And I don't remember what he says here, but she's like, listen, I got to go home, but I'll see you tomorrow. And everything. And he's like, I'll always be here for you, Lily. And I'm all like, I feel like you should find another little woodland creature to marry, because Lily is very, unreliable in my opinion.
And I don't think the king is gonna like when she brings home a woodland guy to be the prince. I don't think that's
I'd be like, you brought home Peter Pan. What's happening, Lily? I thought you were a smart girl.
Well, here's full circle. She's a princess of what exactly? Where
there's that too.
Royal Guard came through and killed every little person they saw, like, purge the forest, find my daughter.
Right. And I love how Jack just runs off into this weird sunset thing, and all these fairy creatures, they pop out of nowhere and they're just waving like, later, Jack. Hey, Chile, bye, Jack.
Yeah, and they put the horn back on the unicorn and he came back to life. Apparently it just put him in a coma to cut it off. Yeah. Flick was not good at his job at all.
I just feel like nobody was good at their job. This movie, I can't tell you how confused I am about this movie. So that's where the movie ends, you guys. And I just want to say that as somebody that hadn't watched it for a while and came back to it, I didn't hate it, but I'm so confused. Was there anything that we didn't talk about that you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap things up?
This movie, okay, so I watched a documentary a little while ago that will be near and dear to us in our generation. So you guys remember the days you would stay home from school and HBO and Showtime would just run this movie and a few others on repeat. So apparently during this era, HBO, with movies that weren't successful like this one, it didn't really make a lot of noise at the box office. They would buy the rights to these movies like Beastmaster, Dark Crystal, and that's how they were able to play it on continuous loops. So it's a testament of its time, a weird time in the 80s where nothing had to make sense.
Which it's kind of the same formula that like TNN and TBS picked up as cable networks later, which also you could watch, you still to this day, every year at certain times, like A Christmas Story plays nonstop. You can watch Grown Ups on that, either of those channels anytime you want almost. So yeah, I mean, HBO did something iconic that other stations picked up later. But yeah, I totally remember that coming home after school and you could just plop it on and be like, oh yeah, it's at that part. I love this.
Yeah. I totally know, because I agree with you. Like I remember this being on TV quite a bit and everything. And the documentary you're talking about, I think I do remember watching it, because I remember Ridley Scott talking about Tom Cruise's character. And he's like, at one point we wanted to make a lizard boy. And like, yeah, make it a lizard boy. And I'm all like, no, thank you. No, what? Like Ridley.
That would have just thrown Matt so off if he would have been a woodland lizard.
Like at one point I was just like, did they know what they were doing when they made this movie? Because it sounds like they just want to do anything and everything. And I'm all like, I can tell, because you're all of a sudden it's snowing and I'm like, what's happening here?
And if you read a lot about this movie, it really wasn't plot driven. It wasn't plot driven.
I know.
It was poetic driven. Like they were driven by the artistic ability of it and the overall poeticness of good versus evil.
Yes.
Everything else just kind of came to, I mean, they had a script, but it also sounds like the script, they also had leeway with changing things up as it went, because it was more good versus evil and more on a poetic side versus a traditional movie of here's your plot, here's your main characters, and so on and so forth.
And the crazy thing about it too is that this movie came out at a weird time for Ridley Scott, right? So Ridley Scott had done Blade Runner prior to this, and I forget what the other film was. This was a make or break situation for everyone involved, but it worked out really well for Tom Cruise because apparently, I don't know if someone fact check it on the replay of the podcast, like he released this movie and I believe Outsiders, and then Top Gun came out shortly thereafter. So he was in the movie theaters in various different roles for a year straight, and this could have sunk him. And then who would have known that it would have birthed this? This has like a cult following like you would not believe.
Yes.
I've dated so many girls where it's like, hey, what do you want to do? Let's watch Legend. I'm like, bitch, let's not.
Wow, you're better than me. I'd have been like, I don't think we can see each other anymore. I can't. I was like,
well, he did tell you that he looked at Una and said, "Oh, you're crazy. I love you." So some girl says that to him, and he's like, "Baby, I can fix you. Let's do it."
We can work it all out. All that trauma. Let's use it in the right way.
I don't know, man. No snow bunny is worth that shit. I'll tell you that right now. like I could watch this movie again in 5 years. I was so like, I don't know. I cannot tell you how many times I was just like, I was like, what's happening right now? What is going on? I was like, this is narts.
You know, my thing is that this movie, I could almost mute it and just watch it and enjoy the sets and the makeup and all of that. And, back in the day when Godzilla would play and you would mute it and make up your own words, I feel like we could do that too with this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys partake in the devil's lettuce, but if you ever want to challenge yourself, if you can make it through it, put this movie on, turn the volume down as you suggested, and grab Bjork's album Joga and just play it. Like everything from the song Hunter. And like all of it matches up perfectly to this. Don't ask me how I did it.
All right, maybe I'll try it.
Yeah,
one time.
I might try that.
Yeah. Okay, so before we wrap things up, I'm going to ask you one more 2-part question, and then we'll wrap it up and everything. All right. So the question is, what did you think about this movie in 1 or 2 sentences, and would you recommend? Steve, we'll start with you.
Does not stand the test of time, but it deserves to be a cult classic.
Okay. All right. And would you recommend?
I would recommend it to any little weirdo that I met that looks or act or behaves like I did when I was a kid. I'm like, hey, go enjoy this.
Right on. I agree. Vetta, what about you?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I am like, this is definitely a movie that I remember it being way more near and dear to my heart than it ended up being. It just it wasn't what I remember. I mean, I remembered it all, but I didn't have those same feelings. Like I still liked it. I would watch it again. I'd give it a little time. I'm definitely going to try your idea. That sounds super fun because I seriously did enjoy and appreciate all of the work that went into this movie. Like, this is one of those movies that was made by the people behind the scenes. The actors, they were all great, but I'm like, without those behind the scenes people, this would have not been as good as a movie. There's no CGI in this. There's no, so it's really great from seeing the artistic work that went into this. And I agree with you, Steve. I would recommend it to certain people because there are some people that I think if I recommended it to, they'd be like, I'm sorry, did someone hurt you? And then there would be other people that would be like, oh my God, this is genius.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so to describe this movie, I would be like, it's a little weird, but it's fantasy fun, I guess, and then, but I mean, I don't hate this movie. I was just so confused a lot of the time. I was like, man, but I would recommend it. I was like, yeah, you should watch this movie. I think that most people that watch it will like it, but they'll just be all like, it's a weird fantasy movie.
And don't you think, I think it is one of those movies that almost everyone should watch once.
Yeah,
I agree. I think they should do a sequel, but like, I don't know, throw in like a wizard or something in there and be all like,
I'm glad you said that.
Back.
The studio, so the reason it ends on that cliffhanger, or what they perceived to be a cliffhanger, they were going to make a sequel and they said, no, we're done with this. They wanted out of it and they did not want to release or even start production on the sequel, but it was supposed to get a sequel.
Well, because I'm going to just say that was probably, and I could be wrong, but this was back in a time where there really wasn't too much direct to video.
Yeah.
They had a really big process of it. You made a movie, it went to theater, you tried to make your money back, and then it went to Blockbuster and rent it out. There weren't too many, because the 80s were the era of mini series. Those went direct to TV. So I don't think this movie ever had a chance of getting a sequel, but I agree it probably should have.
They should just do it now. They should just do like Tom Cruise come back with that what is that, Mia Sara, you know, and they're married.
She's not doing much.
Yeah, she's not doing anything, and Tom Cruise just be like, Tom, there's no stunts, you know, you might need to flip again.
Please, he would still do all of his he still does all of his own stunts, and he would do it because he loves seeing himself so much.
Yeah, and I think he's taller than Mia Sara, so it'll be great. Like so they should do. I'm just saying, I just don't like, and except in the second one, you know, Darkness comes back and he's like, I told you I'd be back.
Years later, Jack comes running back over the hill.
All right. Before we wrap things up, Steve, tell everybody where they can find you at, buddy.
Sundays and Tuesdays, you can find me on RizRadio.com, Riz Radio Live 365. For Mic Check, I am the Grinch of hip hop. I love to take your favorite hip hop albums or R&B music and completely destroy it and make sure you understand why it's not as good as you like.
Right on. We'll leave all the links on all of Steve's socials in the description down below, so you guys can find him and everything. But thank you so much, you guys, for listening and everything. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at BSDrunkPod to stay updated. Now, if you listen to us on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review, you guys. We would really appreciate it, and it helps us out tremendously. You have no idea. Leave a comment, all that good stuff. We'll also be posting the video version of this to our YouTube channel, like I said before. Unless you're watching us on YouTube now, thank you. But make sure to subscribe and like and all that stuff, and comment, give suggestions for movies. We love all that stuff. And that's at YouTube at BS Drunk Movie Reviews. Also, you guys, we do have a Patreon if you guys are interested in that. And the thing we do on our Patreon is we review movie franchises. So we'll go from movie number 1 all the way down to movie 15 if there is one. And there's plenty of different levels to suit whatever needs that you're interested in. And the link for that will also be in the description down below. But most importantly, you guys, please don't forget to drink, recap, review, and repeat. Bye, you guys.
Bye, guys.